The following is a podcast from a qualified senior care provider heard on the Answers for Elders radio show.
And welcome back, everyone, to part 2 of the things you need to know before listing your home. And whether it is with you or a senior loved one or just a general person that's interested in selling, we are here with CEO and founder of SASH Services, Home Sales, and Rebecca Bomann. Welcome back to part 2.
Thank you. It's so good to be here with you, Suzanne. In part 1, we talked about the first thing is trying to pack up as much of the house as you can before photos are taken. And then also to try to sell a few things around the house so you can pay for helpers to come to get the house ready for sale. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't have to be out-of-pocket expenses. So I'm going to go into some more of the cosmetic kinds of things that can be done now that we have a little pocket money from selling off a few things in the home. So the third tip, and these are all low budget ways to get a house ready for market, is take down the heavy drapes and window coverings. And I know they were so beautiful when they were purchased, a couple decades ago, and all of the heavy blinds and drapes. And when you're living in the home, it provides privacy. It's very practical. But when you put a home on the market, we want all of those to be opened. We want natural light to come into the home. We want to show off the view. We want to allow all that light. And the natural light makes the home feel bigger. It makes each room feel bigger, and it makes it feel more cheerful and welcoming and inviting. So
it also brings the outdoors in.
It brings
which is
the
a
outdoors
wonderful thing, especially if you're listing in the spring.
Exactly.
You're having this wonderful, greenery outside. That's a good thing.
One of the things we do with every home that we renovate, and we've renovated about 300, is we do take all those heavy window coverings down, and it makes such a big difference. The next tip, number 4, is this is a real quick and short, easy one, but be careful on the ladders, have someone else do it, is swap out all of those burned out bulbs and the low wattage bulbs around the house for nice, new, bright ones. And this seems like such a small thing, but I've been into so many homes where there's a dark hallway, a dark closet, a room they haven't had a light in for a couple of years. And they go, well, we just kind of turn this on or that. We want to bring lots of light in. So natural light from taking drapes down, and then lots of lamp light for the evenings when the buyers are walking through the home and it's evening out. At least 60 watt in the bulbs, and just go through every room in the house and make sure every single one is well lit, lots of lamps and everything to make it shiny and cheerful and welcoming. The next tip, is number 5. Now, I don't know if you've ever been in a sweet family member's home that proudly hangs every picture on every wall. And when you come and visit, it's so endearing. There's 40 or 60 pictures of the family from the last 7 decades. Just covered.
My mother's bedroom.
Yeah. And they're basically a place of honor. If you're on this wall, you matter to them. And it's chronicling the family history. It's chronicling, all the people that were important to your loved one or to you. And so this is tough. It's delicate to ask people to take the family photos down. But when buyers are looking at these photos online, they feel like they're intruding on your space if your family photos are everywhere. It's harder for them to imagine it being their home. Yeah. And so I say pick 2 or 3 per room, 2 or 3 of your favorite pieces of art or wall hanging, and then pack up the rest. So the walls are a little bit cleaner, decluttered, and it makes a big difference, of course, making the rooms look bigger and letting the buyers imagine it as their own space. And that can be a little bit delicate.
Yeah, but necessary for sure.
Yeah, or maybe it's not photos, it's a cross-stitch collection. I've sold a number of homes where the senior loved one painted their own art. The whole home is full of gorgeous paintings that they put up, and you think, you just want to display it. It's such a part of them and their personality. And so pick the best 2 or 3 and keep those up in
So
everything.
segue, how do you address these kind of issues with seniors? I know that there's it's got to be a very delicate subject.
Yeah. So the first thing is to acknowledge to the senior loved one, to the homeowner, how special their home is, how special everything is that they've hung, to compliment what they've done with the home, the art that they've hung, all the photos, and really acknowledge that this is their happy place. And they've done such a beautiful job in the home. And then to say, when we sell, we're going to have to take all of these down. Eventually, we're not going to leave all these photos up for the buyer.
Right.
But we're going to take a few down now so that we can just allow the buyer to imagine their own family photos on the wall. Yeah. And I try to blame everything on the buyer. That's one of my tricks. Yeah. Well, the buyer is going to expect this and buyers are hoping for that. And it kind of takes being the bad guy away from that adult daughter or son who's trying to walk mom through it.
Well, and that's the thing, because especially with parents and children, there is that dynamic. So that's why I asked that question.
And I often tell it's such a good question, Suzanne, because this whole conversation is delicate. And sometimes mom or dad is feeling very emotional, very resentful, angry at their son or daughter. And I always say to the son or daughter, take yourself out of the role of the bad guy. Sure. By bringing in other professionals to do as much work as possible, back to the garage sale to pay for it, so that you're not the one telling mom you can't take 7 lamps to your 1-bedroom apartment. Let the downsizer do that. Let other people come in and do that. And your mom or dad is likely to be listening to that professional more. And then you can just be the son or daughter who's there supporting mom or dad through this transition.
And Rebecca, I did the worst thing in the world, as long as we're talking about, personal possessions. I decided when I moved my mother into assisted living that I would surprise her with new furniture.
Oh,
that was the
it
wrong
was such a good intention
to do.
It sounded like such a good idea, though.
I gave her a new love seat and a new a chair, because she had a couch, a sectional, or a couch and a love seat combo. She had it on her list to pack up. But what we did do, which, by the way, we rented the guest apartment at her new community.
Okay.
In advance. So what ended up happening was she thought that couch and love seat would be coming with her. And she walks into a new apartment, that day that she left her old house to move into assisted living. And here's this new furniture. Did not go over well.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Suzanne, because I know your heart was really into it and you had really good intentions for it.
I did.
And all they want is what's familiar. I moved a client out of a home that I ended up selling for $500,000. And Suzanne, I kid you not, she took the furniture with her to her brand new house. We had it built. Her brand new house with duct tape all over the furniture.
I believe
and she was happy as a clam with her duct taped furniture in her brand new house. And it's like, this is what you want. You can have anything you want.
Absolutely. I learned the hard way, but I had to throw that in.
Because, gosh.
This was in my years of taking care of mom. It's like, this was like in 2006. And I will say, I totally just blew it, but I didn't mean to. It was a good intention. So to families, understand that there is an emotional attachment to things. And I think sometimes we forget that.
Yes, we do. I'll just do one more tip here in this segment. And that is do a professional deep cleaning. And when I say professional, let a professional do it. Don't do it. Don't be overwhelmed by how big that task is. But that professional needs to come in and do everything. The tops of the ceiling fan blades, the tops of doorways, the window sills, back in the corners of closets, because buyers look everywhere. It feels really good to have a really sparkly, clean house. And having a professional come in and do that doesn't mean the house was dirty. It just means
No.
it's been given a whole once over,
Yeah.
and by the professionals who do it for a living. And there's a good chance they can get on their knees and get behind chairs and fridges
Mhm.
the way that, a senior loved one might not be able to. The
Right.
house feels good, it smells good, and that deep cleaning with the open windows and the
Mhm.
clean windows without drapes on them makes a huge difference.
Well, and even little things like your blinds, which is you never think about those things that get, dusty and grimy and things like that.
Yep,
Those things are all, really important
they
as
sure
well.
are. Yep.
Yeah.
So a
Yeah.
solid deep clean.
Well, that's a lot to be said, and certainly that goes without saying. I'm sure the outdoors too.
We're going to
Are-
get to that.
Oh, you're
in the
going to
next
get to
tip.
the outdoors, because
Yep.
I was going to say there's a lot of things you're going to do outdoors. But
Yes.
in the meantime, Rebecca, I'm going to ask you two things. Number one, I'm going to talk about what areas that SASH Services serves, and then if somebody's from another state, how what's the advantage of calling you? Can you connect them?
Absolutely. So we serve most of the Western Washington area here in the beautiful Pacific Northwest. People can still get a lot of great information from our website at sashservices.com. And yes, if they call us, we can certainly help steer them to a qualified professional in their area to help them through this.
Well, and that's what's most important, because we are here to help all of you, all of these families that are making these big transitions right now. And, in the meantime, I'm going to repeat it one more time. You can reach Rebecca at www.sash, S like Sam, ASH, services with an S.com. And Rebecca will be right back for segment 3 on her top 12 tips right after this.
Answers for Elders radio show with Suzanne Newman hopes you found this podcast useful in your journey of navigating senior care. Check out more podcasts like this to help you find qualified senior care experts in areas of financial, legal, health and wellness, and living options. Learn about our radio show, receive promotional discounts, and meet our experts by clicking on the banner to join the Senior Advocate Network at AnswersForEldersRadio.com. Now there is one place to find the Answers for Elders.